Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Camille Austin, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're joining back and you're subscribed already, thanks for coming in. So it's the long-awaited New Orleans vlog. Guys, I'm so sorry it took me forever, but you already know what the deal is. Like, you know, I've got a whole life outside of all of this, so it was just crazy here. If you're following me, you probably watched a lot of my reaction videos for American Horror Story. So I decided to use my trip to New Orleans that was pre-planned for about a year with my best bud, Andrew, to go ahead and vlog it for you guys and kind of see all the spooky sights with you. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. And I'm just gonna kind of narrate, because otherwise you're just gonna see a bunch of strung together photos and videos and not really understand the context. So I'm sorry about that. Also, if you're not subscribed, you should do that, you know, if you want. I mean, if you're not and you're watching this, like, why? Also, I apologize in advance for volume and all the Snapchat footage. A lot of it was Snapchat footage. This is my first vlog ever, so I learned a lot. I didn't really have a proper vlogging camera, and I don't own a selfie stick. So, well, I didn't. Now I do, because I learned my lesson. But like I said, it's my first go around. I'm trying to make this as informative and fun as possible, so please bear with me, and thanks again for watching. Let's get into it. Okay, so for starters, we caught the earliest flight possible because we booked our tickets late, you know, because it's us. Anyway, bruh, it was so early. We on the way. Chasse, Shantae. We out here. We going. So we slept and took a nap for most of the day when we got into our Airbnb, which thank you to our Airbnb host for allowing us to check in early so we wouldn't be roaming the streets with all of our luggage. But anyway, we got there and Drew was like, we gotta hit these streets tonight. And I really wasn't for it, I'll be honest, because I was tired. And I had been filming the night before for the American Horror Story reaction portion of my channel. So there was a lot going on. I only had like 4 hours of sleep, but we went out anyways. And let me tell you, we saw some things. The chicken wings was popping, and they had like these frozen alcoholic drinks. And guys, like, you can walk around in New Orleans with your drink and like down Bourbon Street. So that was pretty cool. You don't have to like stay in the bar. You can just kind of roam about. And then like this happened. I don't even know. Like, this lady kind of called us in from her club, and you know, she was working. She was like, hey, y'all, come in, y'all want a shot? And of course we're like, sure, because we already just finished our frozen alcoholic beverages, but I had grease in my stomach, so now I'm thinking I'm straight. But I really need to run this clip because this is night number one. Night number one. And then it was in this moment, Andrew fully affirmed that he was a gay man. That's my bestow, and I love him to death, but we did not know that was gonna happen. Oh man. And then when it was my turn, I was scared, okay? Scared, and no, I'm not posting it. Maybe if I get enough likes and shares and subscribers or however many views, I'll post it one day for y'all to see my reaction from when I had to do that. But I got a corporate job to think about in the meantime, in between time. So no. So basically after that night, we went home and just relaxed. And then the next morning, we went to Cafe du Monde. And that cafe is actually open for 24 hours. It's established in 1862 in the New Orleans French Market. And it's actually only closed on Christmas, which honestly makes me sad for the people who work there. The line was obscenely long. And they taste like funnel cakes, to be honest. After we meandered around for a bit in Jackson Square, we were walking, and then we run into this New Orleans Historic Voodoo Museum. And it was really, really cool. It was basically ran by a married couple. Our tour guide was named New Orleans Nathan Scott, and his wife was on the inside, kind of taking everybody's tickets and giving them, like, it's a self-guided tour, essentially. So there were just a lot of cool things that were in there. They had Marie Laveau's birth certificate. And there's a couple misconceptions about Marie Laveau. Essentially, she was known as a healer for ailments that Western medicine could not fix. So, you know, the Europeans obviously didn't like that. So a lot of it was basically known as black magic. Get it? So nobody really knows if she's actually in her mausoleum. They'd be lying if they told you. They'd be saying she did. They'd be possibly lying if they said she wasn't. They don't know. Her body's also been moved. You have to think about Hurricane Katrina and how that kind of devastated that area. I'm sure they had to move the cemetery actually from point A to point B. So who knows at this point. The total cost for that tour was actually $27. So it was a self-guided tour, and we got to tour the cemetery. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, that big triangular mausoleum, yeah, that's for Nicolas Cage. He bought that for himself. Yeah, I don't even know. He bought a plot for himself, and he also plays another part of the story much later. On our tour with Nathan Scott, he told us about the Quarter Grocery, and that was basically where all the locals go to get their food for lunch, which was great because it's basically not where tourists go, which means the prices are not as high. So if you're going to New Orleans, I highly recommend you go here. It's definitely got a bodega vibe. All they were missing really was a cat on the bread. Like, I promise you. We even took a bodega selfie in solidarity and just said, you were from New York, so we dub you a bodega even though you're not. That's just kind of the vibe we got as soon as we walked in. But the people there were very nice. They were so friendly and helpful. If you're looking for a quick lunch and don't want to spend $20 on a po' boy, our meal came up to under $10 basically for a po' boy and a drink. And maybe it was like $12. So, and the po' boy was like, no lie, this big. It was rough. We had a hard time getting through it. So it was good. We did hit up the Museum of Death. Now, I'm just gonna let the clip run for itself, but the pictures you are about to see, I took the one in the front, but the one that's inside I did not take. I just kind of wanted to give you guys like a quick little scoop. I found it on Google. I did not break the rules and take a picture. I did not. But I'm just gonna let the clip roll and y'all can see what we thought about the Museum of Death. Okay. So we just walked out of the Museum of Death.
It was an experience.
That it was.
People are sick.
Phones are not allowed,
so we won't have any photos or anything, but with good reason.
With very good reason.
I don't think that the general public should be exposed to the things that we were exposed to.
You can't unsee what we just saw.
No, the images they're there.
They're graphic.
They're vivid.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, though.
Yeah, we learned about cannibals.
Yes,
how to shrink
a head. It's fairly simple.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like what else? You know what?
We saw autopsy table.
Yes.
That was interesting.
And most serial killers are quite artistic.
You know what? You're right. There were a lot of drawings from all of the ones that you know.
Yeah.
Gacy, Ted Bundy, Dahmer all drew. And they were good.
They were good. Like, I'd hate to give them that much credit, but
it was wild. It was wild, y'all.
It was definitely an experience.
So after the Museum of Death, we walked around some more, and what do you know it, there was a St. Patrick's Day parade.
Birthday girl, yes. Living your best life, yes.
In the middle of October, because it's the halfway point to St. Patty's Day, so there's a parade apparently happening. And we walked into the bar, and then the parade came. So as we were sitting in the bar, all these people wearing green, and I just started filling up the space. And the bartender was like, oh, you just got in time because the parade's marching through here, so we're about to get inundated with a bunch of people. And sure enough, people were out. And it was crazy, but it was a nice little sight to see. But we weren't there for that. We just kind of wanted to, Luna, skirt. We got our drinks, we got our food. Let's just go home. We took in a lot of sun. So we made it to the house. And then I'll just let this clip roll so y'all can see what had happened that night. So technically we are on day 2, or no, we're on day 3 of the trip. We did not get to vlog that much yesterday or get a closing for yesterday because I'm old. We went walking around and saw some sights, and the sun was relentless. Yeah, by the time we were like, let's just go home and then wash up all our makeup and take a quick nap, and then we'll get up and get dressed and hit the streets and go clubbing and go to Bourbon Street, which sounded great until we actually fell asleep and didn't wake up. And here we are next morning. So today we are going to Buckner Mansion. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, it's a really light look today because I'm just gonna have to turn around and wash it all off before we go out. And I need to hit my roots with a flat iron one more time. Anyway, yeah, I'm not dressed. Why, you ask? Because my outfit is uncomfortable as hell, and Drew's catching up on his show, so I feel no rush. Why be uncomfortable? Know what I'm saying? Anyways, catch y'all in the streets. So what's the look? We're done. Or are we?
Finally.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Are we done?
No.
We're not done.
Set me down.
Oh, you want some? You want some? Oh, hold on. My turn.
What are friends for?
Yes. We're gonna really test the theory, cause we about to be out in these streets. Like, pray for our faces. That's why I don't got shit on, really, to be honest. Cause
after yesterday's
today
fiasco, I was
we learned our lesson. We thought we was gonna be cute and hit the streets and
went like this one time. My whole temple melted. I was like, okay.
What we're not gonna do today is wear a full face. We're not doing that.
But I got the fan.
Good call. Okay, so catch y'all later. Bye.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun. It's bad.
Okay, so we're taking bets that we've walked past this house
About 6 times.
about
Maybe.
Maybe.
More.
and we've gone all the way to Buckner, got
Yep.
an Uber to come here specifically, and then we pulled up, and there's no
type
no
of
no
signage.
signage.
No plaque.
Do you want to guess whose house this is?
Take a guess.
We'll wait.
Show them the whole thing.
Look at this, guys. Does this corner look familiar? I'll do a better pan. This is freaking La Laurie's house.
Madame Dauphine
La
La
Laurie.
Laurie.
Yeah, no signage. I think they kind of want to keep away from that negativity, which I can kind of understand. This house is now privately owned.
By a hedge fund.
Yes, honey, he's got coin. And every single one of these freaking windows, hold on, I'll
Draped. Like,
So-
heavily.
so we
They
can.
want none of it.
Yeah, they don't want none of us in their house.
Mm-mm. But we made it.
Yeah.
We're here.
And it's cute. Also, we met a neighbor, and he was telling us all kind of like
The tea.
He was spilling tea about his neighbor,
Listen,
basically.
he kicked the pot over and said, look, let me give y'all the tea about this one.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, and then told us where to find good jazz music. Let me tell you something. The people of New Orleans are very nice.
They're so nice, so knowledgeable.
Yeah, they know what's up around
and-
here.
Yeah.
I'm about to pin this $20 on me
Yes.
before we hit this bar. So listen.
Listen,
Listen.
the gag is,
If it's your birthday, you get a happy birthday bead. Pin some money to yourself, and people either have to wish you happy birthday or they have to give you some money.
honey.
So I put a 20 on me because I'm starting to bid high. Buckner Mansion was pretty awesome. There were so many people taking pictures there, and it was really such a beautiful area, the Garden District. Like, the homes are just so immaculate. We did get to see Anne Rice's house, but I don't know where that picture went, and I know it's on my camera. I just don't know what happened to it. I don't know. But that was pretty cool. And then we took an Uber ride to try to find Delphine Laurie's house. So back to Nicolas Cage. Apparently at one point he bought this house and was living there and confirmed that it was haunted. I don't know what the rumors are, but he definitely did buy that house at some point, and now he doesn't own it anymore and they don't allow tours. And you can stay in Buckner Mansion for one night for the cute cost between $4,000 and $5,000 per night. But it is rumored to be haunted, so watch your back. Later on that night, we did decide, we finally made it to the club scene. Yes, we finally did go proper bar hopping. And we went to Café Lafitte in Exile. And it was basically, it's like a gay bar, basically. And we met this really cute drag queen. Her name is Rasula Bottom, I think. Oh God, let me not mess up her name. But I did follow her on Instagram, and she's pretty sickening. The whole vibe was just so cute. Granted, the club is relatively empty. I don't know why, but I don't care. I personally like it when it's this way because then we have free space to dance, and we have all this room. Also, shout out to DJ, Austin, and Marissa that we met that night. They were super cute people that we just happened to run into because, you know, when you're drunk, you're super friendly, and they're from Manhattan, and they were vacationing, and that's who's in this clip with us. We had just met them that night. Haven't seen them since, but I remember their names because they were very nice people. Roll clip. I think it's funny, but I don't know. It could be a miss for some people. Anyway, it brings us to day number 4. Yeah. And we went to the Ruby Slipper. Now, the Ruby Slipper is family owned and operated with multiple locations in New Orleans. They're basically, to describe their food, is like a Cajun New Orleans feel to like Southern breakfast and brunch stuff. I had the salmon Benedict. Drew had like the trifecta where you got to try one of each. He made sure that the salmon one he didn't get, and you bet your ass we split them all down the middle and basically had a little smorgasbord going on and tried each of them, and I can tell you not a single one was bad. All of it tastes good. All of it. It was so rich, so good. But you know what? Why am I telling you this? Roll clip. It's a good taste.
What's this? You know why?
What?
I was born by the river. Get your shit together.
So we just had brunch because we're basic
Yes.
at the Ruby Slipper.
And it was delicious.
Let's talk about it.
Oh, okay.
These Benedicts,
Oh,
like God himself,
came down
upon these people.
and 2 steps all in it.
All up
He
in
was
it.
like, good God, let me put my foot in it. Yeah.
Yes. The hollandaise was just
Listen.
the salmon.
The pulled pork was seasoned to perfection.
Like, they know how to use seasoning, y'all.
Yes.
They got a whole
It
cupboard.
was everything.
Listen.
And these mimosas, sis.
If listen,
It's a little pomegranate mimosa,
if the chef
everything.
if the chef wasn't sweating over my food, I don't want it.
Right. That
It was
part.
it was so
They had the extra little, the elbow fat. You
Oh,
already know. You already know.
so highly recommended.
Yes, the Ruby Slipper. Oh, and they're coming to Florida, but only in Pensacola. That's the gag.
Yeah, and I think another state too, Alabama.
Alabama.
If you're in
yeah.
Bama,
You a
look
Bama
for
girl,
'em.
get you a Ruby
get
Slipper.
get into it.
Yeah,
Get
'cause that's
into
what
it.
these are called, the Ruby Slipper. Yes.
Get into it, bitch.
Mm.
On our final night for dinner, we decided to go to Bourbon House, which is no doubt located on Bourbon Street. They're basically known for their seafood and charboiled oysters. Acme is right around the corner, which is another popular spot where tourists go for oysters. And I don't know if I made the wrong or right decision to go to Bourbon House instead. I just knew we wanted a more elegant feel for the night, for our last night in dinner. It was a Sunday night, and we just wanted to kind of have a chill vibe. We didn't want to be in a place that was too crowded or too loud. So Bourbon House just kind of seemed like the right ambiance for us. Mind you, we were still super full from breakfast because, I mean, how in the hell could we have eaten all that breakfast and then, like, turned around and ate, like, that night? Like, we're beasts, but we're not that crazy. So we just had the oysters and the seafood gumbo, and I had wine, and I think he actually had bourbon. And it was all good. All of it was good. And it was delicious. And that was basically like our last night in New Orleans. The next morning, well, I'm going to let you guys get my closing thoughts on that. Because we did nothing the next day except Netflix and pack. So today is my last day in New Orleans. Well, it was my last full day. It's Sunday. We saw Anne Rice's house. And that was pretty awesome too. And then we also went to Bourbon House, which was such a nice, elegant feel. And I'll be honest, like, we didn't record much inside of the Bourbon House just because we didn't want to be those black people. Now we're home, and tomorrow we fly in pretty late, but we're not going anywhere. We're seriously staying in. We're gonna do laundry, we're gonna pack our clothes, and we're just gonna relax for the rest of the night and the rest of the day. Today, like, we got brunch, came back home, napped, turned around and went back out for dinner, and now we're gonna go to sleep. All we did today was eat. Other than that, I have no more closing thoughts. I'm gonna watch some Netflix until I pass out. And then I'm gonna go to sleep. So I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys. We're heading home.
Finally heading home.
We're on the plane.
New Orleans, it's been a blast.
It's been real. But we miss our beds.
And my dog.
And our dogs.
Yes, the most important part.
Yeah, honestly. So, back to life.
Back to life. Out.
Well, guys, that's it. That wraps up my New Orleans experience. I can tell you right now, like, the people there are just so, so nice, and they were probably one of the better parts of my trip. I'll give you an example. Obviously, one of the clips, you can see that the money is pinned to me, because I told you guys that if it's your birthday, you pin money to yourself, and people wish you happy birthday as the night goes by, or they'll give you money. And I'm telling you, it's not tourists that were giving me money. It was workers, like the bartenders, who probably were giving me their tips, if I'm being truthful. Don't think it didn't cross my mind to say it was my birthday each day and lie, basically. It definitely did. But I'll tell you what stopped me from doing that. After we left the gay club, Cafe Lafitte in Exile, basically, I'm just going to call it Exile, we went to Clover Grill, and we were standing in line to kind of go inside. This restaurant or dive is basically open 24 hours. So we're standing outside, it's cold, and this homeless guy starts to walks up to me and approaches Drew and I for money. And essentially, we're kind of like, no thanks. And he sees, as soon as I turn around, as he's kind of talking to us, and he sees the money pinned to me, he just goes, oh, never mind, enjoy your birthday, and walked away. And I was floored. I couldn't really believe that, because the homeless people in Orlando, I don't know where y'all are from, but the homeless people in Orlando, like, they don't care if it's your birthday, Jesus' birthday, their birthday. They want you to come up off that money. They're going to ask you to come up off that money. They don't care where it's pinned. But I think it's like they take it very seriously. Like, if somebody has money pinned to them, they will really give you money for your birthday. And I just was really, like, moved by the fact that this homeless guy who needed the money saw that it was my birthday and then turned it down and was like, actually enjoy your birthday. Have a good one. And just kind of disappeared into the crowd. We hunted him down. I gave him $1 anyways, because I just was like, oh my gosh, take my money. So that also kind of prompted me to not want to lie and be like, I'm not going to, like, lie and say it's my birthday on days that it's not, to take more money from people. Because honestly, we're in a city where spooky things happen, and I don't need that kind of karma on my spirit and following me, and not in this city, because it will happen. If there's anywhere that is gonna happen, it's gonna happen in New Orleans, and I don't want that karma. So the spirits just told me, don't do that. Enjoy your day, take your coin while you can, and move on. Don't do it. So yeah, that's like my little story for just to kind of give you an inkling about the people that exist in that city. It's not like any other place I've been to. So it was a great time, and I give it a 10 out of 10. If you want to go to New Orleans, please go. And I hope that you check out some of the places that I talked about. And thanks, guys, for watching. You have a good night, or see you later, alligator. Luna, are you in this room? No.